Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. This astrology report is for the week of September 9th, and we're flinging through the eclipse portal. We're in between that last Pisces lunar eclipse and the upcoming Virgo solar eclipse. And this is known as the little wormhole in between the two, where we can see some big things happen in our lives. We can feel some really potent and strong energies that are pulling us in or out of certain directions in life. This application of all of the planets being around the lunar nodes is what causes the eclipses. When the Earth, the Sun, the Moon are lined up, we get this alignment that gives us this opportunity to live right here in this moment and allow the eclipse energy and this portal to do the cosmic course corrections in our lives, in the greater communities, and to have faith in that. That's what Pisces has just taught us all about with that big full moon, juicy Pisces full moon just a few days ago in the sky. That was a true beauty and really, really emotionally potent, really strong with intuition, because Pisces is the most intuitive of all signs. There could be a real feeling of closure and finalization with this time through the eclipses also, because Pisces represents that, and Virgo is the other side of this. And Virgo is the final, it's the sixth sign in the zodiac, and the first through the sixth signs are known as the kind of the personal signs, and then the 7th through 12 is like the outer sign. So the sixth sign is like the ending point of finding ourselves on a personal level in our lives. So Virgo is actually a completion point also in terms of the zodiac. So 6 and 12 being lit up here. So if you have Virgo and Pisces in your chart, you're feeling this very strongly. And the nodes are sitting, the north and the south node are currently sitting right around 18 degrees. And this is where the interplay is happening in your birth chart. If you look at the 18, it's really, you can kind of look at the few degrees around it. So from like the, 15 to 21 degree point, right in there is where these eclipses are working in the birth chart with Pisces Virgo. But that is really of all the signs. So that this area is lit up in terms of every sign in the chart. These degree points, you look to see if you have planets or points or your ascendant or your descendant there on any of that. And then you can see how it's going to more personally affect you. And this is fateful, destined time. That is something to know about this eclipse portal we're moving through and the interplay with the nodes. So on September 9th, we have a fairly busy lunar day. There's a lot of activity with the moon. There is, in the morning time, 3 inconjuncts, which make it be a morning of some adjustment. Inconjuncts are 5 signs apart. It's just known to be a time where you have to sit with things, make adjustments to the situations. In the evening time, we have Venus making another inconjunct to the North Node. Venus is our heart. And Venus is also money. So in terms of Venus in our lives, it is a personal planet that represents our heart, how we feel, the pleasurable things that we enjoy in life, and also our financial flow and the flow of money on a personal level. So we are making adjustments on Tuesday, the 9th, in terms of what's arriving and coming in, because this in conjunct is with the North Node. The North Node is wanting to put us on the correct course. The North Node is guiding us into the direction where we are needing to go. And the North Node can tend to bring things in to our lives. Things arrive when we have North Node activity. So we could see our hearts or our financial situations arriving to some new point, or getting some newfound direction in terms of a fateful, permanent direction to head in for the future. And so that is on Tuesday, the 9th. And then on Wednesday, the 10th, we get the first activity with the South Node. The Sun is going to make a conjunction with the South Node. The Sun is our personal identity. The North Node and the South Node are directly across from each other in the chart. And the South Node represents things that are trying to leave our life. So in terms of Wednesday, September 10th, the Sun in a conjunction with the South Node is begging our personal identity, our ego, what is represented by the Sun. This is us. This is how we are filtering things, how we are experiencing things. And this is happening in Virgo. Virgo is the sign of purging and of cleansing and of detoxing. So the power of the South Node in Virgo is strong. And we are getting a lot of interplay with this North and South Node this week. And so we're seeing things come into our life, and we're seeing things want to leave our life also. Very fated, very destined. So parts of our identity on September 10th are looking to be purged. They are looking to fall away. These are core parts of ourself that maybe we thought would never change, core parts of our identity, the way that we work with our ego and who we are in the world. These core elements of ourself, some of it is asking to fall away this week, and that is the Sun in a conjunction with the South Node. On the 11th, Mercury comes in. Mercury's just trailing the Sun by a few degrees in Virgo, and Mercury is our mind. We've had this fast-moving Mercury now come into its home sign of Virgo, where it's comfortable. Our minds are working well. We are thinking very methodically. Virgo is all about making a to-do list and figuring out the steps that it needs to take to get the groundwork done. And so Mercury, our mind and our thought processes are now in Virgo land, and they're wanting to organize and create the step-by-step process. And so this is where our mind comes in on the 11th, and we get some true mental stimulation in terms of this South Node work and the North Node work. So Mercury comes into a conjunction with the South Node, purging things out of the mind, detoxing things out of the thought processes. Mercury is also our transportation, and so we could see things taking place with our transportation, so our cars, our routines, the way we get from places, points A to points B. This type of routine could be changing. This is going to be fateful. It's going to be destined. And as with everything that is intermingling with the North and South Node, it is a permanent fixated change for the future. Such a fateful, destined week. And it doesn't stop there. On September 12th, we have the moon is in Taurus, and the moon has moved into Taurus on September 10th. This is also a grounded, earthy energy for the 10th and the 11th. And on the 12th, the moon moves into Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. It's going to sort of amplify accelerate things in terms of your thoughts, in terms of communication, in terms of curiosity and the questions that we're asking and the data that's being gathered. That's what Gemini has a lot to do with. And we also get a lot of Jupiter activity on the 12th. The sun, the same sun that just is now coming into basically a conjunction with the south node and opposition to the north node. We're still in that, is in a sextile with Jupiter. Jupiter is the expander. Jupiter brings in wisdom, knowledge, expansion, energy, and it is an amplifier to make things big and to exaggerate. And so this is the type of energy that comes in on the 12th. There's something really big and amplified that comes in. And a sextile is a smooth, harmonious aspect. So there's like this smooth, harmonious feeling to Friday because that same Mercury just catching up to the sun, just about to make a conjunction with the sun the next day, also makes a sextile with Jupiter. So we get all of this amplified energy on the 12th, and it's big, and it's involving our personal identity that's changing and shifting and purging and releasing and coming to completion. And we're also dealing with Mercury, our mind, that is right here in Virgo, and we are cleansing our thoughts. We're detoxing our mind and our thinking processes. And then on September 13th, we get maybe the biggest event. It all just kind of compiles during this week, so it's all basically happening all at once. All these energies are melding, but Mercury conjuncts with the sun and finally catches up in Virgo. And this is right there. It's so fated and destined and emotional. Virgo is a feminine sign, and the astrology, all the signs are have either like a sort of more feminine, receptive energy or a more masculine, outward type of energy. So Virgo considered to be more feminine. And so there is like this emotion that's involved this week. Also, Pisces is an emotional sign. We are waning off of that huge lunar eclipse, full moon in Pisces. So big emotions this week too. You know, be gentle with yourself and everyone around you, because there's a lot of realizations taking place and there's a lot of course correction happening. And it might not be the type that you want. It's not ever planned. This type of cosmic course correction that comes in during these eclipse times, it may not reflect any type of plan that you had, but you embrace it with faith. And that is something that the feminine sign of Virgo teaches us and shows us also. There's a receptivity. We surrender to the process. Pisces also about surrender. And the moon is in a T-square with the nodes this same day, September 13th, that Mercury is conjunct the sun. So we could see some really big, enlightening, brilliant communication, thoughts take place. It could be quite awakening, and it's going to have a full-time permanent effect on the future with the T-square with the nodes that day also. On the 14th of September, the moon moves into Cancer, and this is where the moon shifts our mood and the feelings, the general vibe of the 2.5 day cycle when the moon is moving through a sign. Cancer is a more inward, private type of energy. Cancer wants to pull into the shell like the crab. It's more into its home life and the intimate relationships that it has, and also about just spending time in the home and in the safe space where we can feel secure. That is what Cancer thrives off of, is safety and security and the warm hug of a mother, or a nice warm bathtub, or, that type of floating in the womb type of energy. That could be definitely something that could bring in some type of helping us pull it all together. The interplay that we've seen this week with the lunar nodes, in this eclipse portal. There's a lot to purge. There's a lot to detox. There's a lot that wants to come out so that there can be some clear spaces and some areas for those things to come in. So this is a safe space for us to land on Sunday the 14th with this beautiful Cancer moon that's just going to give us a nice, warm, motherly embrace. And then on September 15th, this is the last day of the report week, but this is the exact sextile between the cosmic lovers. So we haven't heard about them in a while, but they had a square not long ago. This is Venus and Mars, and they go through all kinds of different activity throughout the year. We watch them because they're known as the cosmic lovers. It is the balance between the masculine and the feminine here. And this is where we can see relationships and masculine, feminine balance, come in with a sextile. It's all about balance and harmony. So we get this coming in on the 15th, and it's a unification. It's easy. It's harmonious and smooth. This is a great day for going on a date, for taking yourself out on a date, for doing anything that feels like something that the cosmic lovers would do to celebrate a smooth, harmonious, easy flowing day where they're just vibing and supporting each other and enjoying each other's company, because the sextile is offering that up. And when the cosmic lovers are like in the square that they were in a little while back, that's more of a challenging aspect. So when we're here, we get to indulge in this. So again, Monday, great day for date night, or going out on a blind date even, because there is just this easy, harmonious thing going on there where we can really vibe. And that leaves us really sitting pretty for the next week. We do have the moon waning to the new moon in Virgo for next week. And so we'll be chatting about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the week. It's a little bit of a slower week in terms of exact, planetary. We have like the one conjunction with Mercury and the Sun, but other than that, it's just a lot of interplay, and the cosmic lovers and their sextile. But there's just a lot of interplay with the nodes this week. So it's very destined, very fateful. And whatever takes place during this eclipse portal and during this very, very potent time in the astrology, it's going to have a permanent effect on the future. That's just how the nodal interplay works and the eclipses work. So make sure to slow everything down if you can. And when it comes time to making decisions or taking action, there's really a lot of more this week. It's more about adjusting and seeing things under different amounts of light and from different angles. And so it's really an interesting week to be in surrender and to listen and watch what's going on around you. Gemini is housing Uranus, and this is really bringing curiosity to our minds and to the revolutionary fields in which we live and thrive within ourselves and within the communities also, and on a and on a world level, really. So we're all watching. We're all gathering data right now. We're like a spider with like 100 eyes right now. Just have everything open, be super observant, gather as much data as you can right now, because after we move through this portal, things are going to get settled, and then we'll be able to move forward under new circumstances. So a lot wanting to change and shift this week and have permanent effects on the future. So hang in there. It can feel a little forceful. It can feel a little bit like open wounds, but we can all just be super gentle with ourselves and with all the other people around you, and realize that everybody's going through the same thing at the same time. And I really appreciate you being tuned in here to the Cosmic Community Astrology with the Galactic Ambassador, Stacy Dredd, and I will be chatting with you again very soon. Take care. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.